Hello, everyone. My name is David McLeod, and I am your life mastery coach and best-selling lead author of the new book, Gifts of Wisdom, Practices for Healing and Empowerment, which is available right now on Amazon at the link below. Welcome to my chapter reading sessions for this book, in which you get to meet each author and listen in during a personal reading of that person's entire chapter from this amazing book. Today, my guest is Janette Stuart, who contributed Chapter 3. Janette is the emissary of joy at Angel Angles and Well-Being and Wonder. She's also a best-selling author, angelic practitioner, and triumphant pancreatic cancer survivor. She's a beacon of hope and joy that shines brightly in a world often clouded by uncertainty and challenges. Welcome, Janette. It's a joy to be with you today. Thank you for coming on and being willing to participate in this process.
Thank you, David. I'm happy to be here today.
Yeah. Well, as you have seen, we've gone through a fairly lengthy process for all of us to write our chapters and get this book ready for publication. And I'm just curious, can you tell us a little bit about what it was that inspired you to join this project?
Well, I really love the vision that you had for elders sitting around a campfire and sharing their stories with young and old alike. I really like that collaborative feeling of being in a group together, and that just really spoke to me. And it's just been so great learning from my fellow authors. You put together a great group, David, so it's been wonderful.
Well, thank you for that. And I have to say, I kind of just put out the call to the universe, and all the people who felt the resonance, they showed up. And I agree with you. They've been an amazing group of people. It's just been an awesome experience. And of course, I've known you for quite a while. You and I are both members of the Wellness Universe. And, so I think I might have reached out to you a little more personally when that project started, because I did know you. Yeah. And so you came aboard, you got involved, you went through the process, and then you came up with this idea for your chapter. So tell me a little bit about your process in coming up with your chapter and what you decided to write about.
Well, I thought about what do I do daily that I could share with the world? What do I wish I knew when I was 20 years old and trying to find my way in the world? And I came up with this simple practice of selecting a word of the year and how empowering that has been for me. And I thought the time is right to share this story.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, well, I've read through your story, and it's very touching for sure. And your connection with the angels is very, very clear through your narrative. But I don't want to give too much away. I really would rather have you just read your story if you're willing to do that right now.
I'd love to, David.
So, all right then. So everyone, please give your full attention to Janette Stuart as she reads Chapter 3, Your Word of the Year, How to Curate the Life of Your Dreams.
My story. My favorite and most powerful tool for transformation is selecting a word of the year. It's allowed me to go from a life of stress and trying to have all the answers to living joyfully each day. I used to start my day by marching out to my driveway to retrieve the newspaper. I flipped on the morning news before having my first sip of coffee. I scoured the newspaper and watched the news obsessively in case someone asked me a question. I took great pride in knowing the answer, especially about local events. What if someone asks me about a local project or event I should be aware of and I don't know the answer? I don't want to look silly, stupid, or uninformed. I put a lot of needless pressure on myself. By using my word of the year, I've gone from needing to know everything to surrendering to divine guidance. This practice helped me curate the life of my dreams by guiding me to live in alignment with my core values. I employ this simple yet powerful transformation tool many times a day, all year long. Instead of anguishing over what's happening around me or running what if scenarios, I intentionally focus on what I desire. This shift is enormous. It serves as a focal point, a guidepost, and a theme to guide my decisions and choices. I often ask myself, how do I want to feel? Does this choice align with my word of the year? If it doesn't align, how can I make a better feeling decision? I've embraced the word of the year practice daily for 9 years, and it's one of my favorite, most used tools. I credit my dear friend Becky for sharing this potent practice with me. She's been selecting her words of the year for over 14 years. When she first mentioned she selected a word of the year, I was puzzled. I didn't grasp its significance or why I might want to adopt the habit myself. Curious, I asked how she integrated her word of the year into her daily life. She eagerly shared her go-to method, creating a vision board centered around her chosen word. She revealed a stunning vision board celebrating her word of the year. The images on the board vividly depicted the sensations and experiences she aimed to embrace and cultivate throughout the year. I was mesmerized. The vision board wasn't just a collection of pretty pictures, it was a tangible representation of her aspirations. As I looked at her vision board, I could see the intentionality behind every image. Each picture resonated with the emotions, dreams, and desires she wanted to manifest. The board wasn't just a passive display, it was an active tool in her daily life. She explained how she gazed at it regularly, allowing its images to reinforce her focus and inspire her actions. Her practice inspired me to select a word of the year too, because I could see the tangible results of her happier, more focused, and empowered life. Who wouldn't want that? It was like the proverbial I'll have what she's having moment, as in the movie When Harry Met Sally. As we discussed her practice, I told Becky I'm choosing joy as my word of the year for 2016, and we'll see how it works out. I was so excited. The word joy was a vast departure from how I lived before. I always had a sunny disposition, but focused on being a responsible adult, living up to others' expectations, wishes, and desires, which tended to put my joy on the back burner. Intentionally allowing myself to focus on joy all year was empowering and transformative, and it gave me a childlike zest for life I'd long abandoned. Later that year, we enjoyed a few days at the beach. We walked barefoot along the shore, dashing the incoming waves, laughing and counting our blessings. Becky found a stick that washed up in the surf and wrote our words of the year in the wet sand. It was a beautiful moment seeing our words of the year as a tribute to ourselves and our practice. Our joy was palpable, a serene culmination of our journey together. The sounds of the wave crashing against the shore echoed our laughter, creating a symphony of nature and delight that we would cherish forever. I wholeheartedly embraced joy that year and steeped myself in its incredible energy, which made me feel lighter, happier, more energetic, and more carefree. My joy was a beacon. It was a contagion for good, and it hooked me for life on selecting a word of the year. Speaking of joy, my favorite quote about joy is, "You are joy, looking for a way to express." It's not just that your purpose is joy, it's that you are joy. You are love and joy and freedom and clarity expressing. Energy, frolicking and eager, that's who you are. And so, if you're always reaching for alignment with that, you're always on your path, and your path will take you into all kinds of places. Abraham Hicks. I begin my day in stillness with a few moments of devotion and ponder how I'll use my word of the year. I intentionally focus on how I want to feel during my day. It's a huge departure from my days of relentlessly following current events. I no longer even watch the news. Such a huge relief. Does this mean there are never moments of doubt, difficulties, or wrong turns along the way? No, not at all. After all, I'm human, and mistakes, bumps in the road, and unplanned twists and turns are part of the journey. When I stray from my desired intention and find myself off kilter, off balance, or misaligned, I can begin again by lovingly giving myself the grace to reset and make a better feeling choice. Here's a list of the empowering words I've chosen as my words of the year over the last 9 years: joy, delight, trust, flourish, celebrate, miracles, wonder, gratitude, reverence. Imagine how focusing on these words or words like them could have altered your life over the past 9 years. Of course, these are my words of the year. Yours will be equally unique and meaningful. I'll show you how to select your word of the year in the practice section below. Your word must resonate with you, as you'll use it as a guidepost or focal point to manifest the life of your dreams. Delight was my word of the year for 2017, and I sure did have a delightful year. It was a year of deep creativity where I self-published 2 books and created my first inspirational card deck called Love Notes from the Divine. Truly a delight. While pondering my word for 2018, the energy felt different. Trust kept bubbling up, but it wasn't as juicy or lighthearted as joy or delight had been. I was initially resistant to choosing the word trust, but I leaned into the guidance I received and selected it. The angels guided me to create a trust manifesto and whispered, "Trust, the best is yet to come." This guidance about trust was a blessing to receive because at the time I was in my late 50s, a time when others might think their best years were behind them. You can read about both on my blog. Late in 2018, I felt unwell and thought I was doing too much and pushing myself too hard. I trusted that better days were ahead, even when I had zero energy, had trouble eating, and lost 30 pounds without trying. 4 days into 2019, I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and my word of the year was flourish. This word was one of the most powerful and healing words of the year for me to choose. Many times a day, I ask myself, how can I flourish now? Flourishing took many forms. Sometimes it meant enjoying a nap, taking an anti-nausea pill, brewing a soothing cup of tea, or reaching out to a friend or loved one. I did flourish despite the scary diagnosis, dismal survival rate, chemotherapy, losing my hair, and having an extensive life-saving surgery. In 2020, I chose the word celebrate. I survived my healing journey with pancreatic cancer and looked for ways I could celebrate my vibrant health. I also had my Diamond Jubilee birthday that year. I decided to celebrate by writing 60 handwritten letters to friends and family who helped me and my family along the way. I also bought postage stamps with the word celebrate to amp up the experience. I bought a necklace with a hand-hammered word celebrate inscribed on it, and it included a terracotta bead for essential oil, which I wore daily. I couldn't resist the celebration oil blend to anoint myself daily. I was also blessed to contribute a chapter called Gratitude, the magic elixir to reduce stress, worry, and anxiety, in the #1 bestseller, The Wellness Universe Guide to Complete Self-Care by Anna Pereira and published by Brave Healer Productions. In 2021, I was on the lookout for miracles daily. I listed miracles, big or small, on a small piece of paper and placed them in a pretty glass jar I kept on my dining room table. Sometimes I shared the miracles I discovered with loved ones or treasured friends. At the end of the year, I had a ceremony and read my miracles, which was a fantastic way to close out the year. In 2022, my focus was wonder. I often found wonder during my daily walks in nature or at my hummingbird feeder, and I frequently shared wonder pictures on social media. In 2023, gratitude was my daily focus. I have a private Facebook group called Angel Circle of Gratitude and host a 30-day gratitude journey each November. Part of my gratitude practice was writing 30 postcards to folks who have inspired me over the years. I also created a 30-day gratitude journey booklet as an opt-in with favorite quotes about gratitude, affirmation cards, and journaling pages, which include my chapter on gratitude mentioned 3 paragraphs above. My word of the year for 2024 is reverence. I created a vision board about how reverence feels and gaze at it daily. I chose a lovely hardcover gold leaf quality journal with gorgeous artwork that depicted reverence to me from my favorite vendor, Peter Popper Press. It has a full moon shining over a woodland setting, illuminating colorful flowers on the front and back covers. It feels magical and sacred, evoking a true sense of reverence for me. I often record where or how I've experienced reverence or add quotes that spark awe within this beautiful space. By selecting a word of the year, I focus on what I want more of in my life instead of worrying about what's wrong, falling into a rabbit hole of anxiety, or trying to know it all. As you can see by the many examples above, I've embraced my words of the year and found countless ways to embody and express them over the years. Be creative. Do what lights you up. Motivational speaker Tony Robbins shares that where focus goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, whatever you're focusing on grows. In other words, your life is controlled by what you focus on. What are you focused on? Is it empowering you or zapping your life force energy? What do you want more of in your life? So, what do you want to curate, dear reader? A life of your dreams or more of the same thing every day? It's up to you. The practice. Selecting your word of the year exercise. What you'll need is a journal or paper, favorite writing instrument, water or favorite drink. Get comfortable so you can write with ease. Give yourself the gift of solitude for at least 30 minutes. On the top of your paper, draw the outlines of a heart and a cloud side by side. You'll want these images big enough to hold 5 or 6 words. Leave the heart and cloud images alone for the time being. You'll begin listing words below them. Have you thought of a word of the year that you might select? If so, write that word down below the heart and cloud shapes. If you don't have any words coming to mind, that's fine. Take a deep breath and get comfortable. Everything you do during this process will be easy and fun. You can't get it wrong. Don't force anything. Allow yourself to receive with an open heart and mind. Don't overthink or stress about any of this exercise. It's okay if your paper is messy. It's just for you. Let's do a visualization. Close your eyes and place your hand on your heart. Please take a deep breath and let it out. Imagine feeling cozy, protected, and safe in a favorite spot. The temperature is just perfect for you, and you feel serene. Let yourself look forward to next year at this time. If at any time during this visualization you think of a word or words that call to you, write them down on your paper. Don't try to remember them as you go along. You'll have quite a list of words to choose from. Whatever words or feelings come to you are perfect. Ponder these questions and write the answers on your paper. How do I want to feel during the year ahead? What areas of my life am I hoping to strengthen or enhance? Think about your favorite colors. How do they make you feel when you wear or see them? Read the following list of words. Write them down on your paper if they energize or delight you. If another word comes to mind, write it down also. Joy, delight, trust, flourish, celebrate, wonder, reverence, miracles, gratitude. Here's another list of words that may interest you. Read the list. If anything sparks you, write them down on your paper. Abundance, beauty, creativity, devotion, empowered, freedom, grateful, healthy, independence, joy, kindness, lightness, mindfulness, nourish, opportunities, possibilities, quiet, renewal, stillness, tenderness, unique, vibrant, well-being, excitement, yes, zest. During this final part of the visualization, write down the letters of the alphabet on the left side of your paper, leaving enough room next to each letter to add a word or words that energize you, uplift, or inspire you. Write this list as quickly as possible. If a word doesn't materialize for a letter, skip it and proceed to the following letter. Allow it to be fun and easy. Now that you have many words on your paper, review them, pick your favorite 5 and circle them. Write those 5 circled words inside the heart image at the top of your page. Look at those 5 words inside the heart image. What do those words have in common? They may bring another sensation or word to you. If so, add that word inside the heart. Next, circle your 3 favorite words from inside your heart image. What do those words have in common? Is there one you're reacting to the most? Which one energizes and uplifts you the most? Write that word in the cloud image if one is singing to you. If you love the word in the cloud image, congratulations. You've just created your focus word of the year. If you need help with the process, please email Janette at angel-angles.com and let me know. I've guided hundreds of people in successfully selecting their words of the year. Here's an invitation to join us in our cozy community to develop your word of the year for 2025 on Zoom on December 27th, 2024. Join free and register now. https://bit.ly/createword42025. Thank you.
Wow, Janette, thank you so much for sharing that. That was beautiful. I know the word renewal really jumped out at me as you were reading that list.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, there's something about lists of words. I do a lot of journaling and poetry writing and all that kind of stuff, and I have a process that's kind of similar to what you do for helping people to write a poem. It's interesting, yeah. So this, what I found most touching was listening to you talking about how you started doing this, I think in 2016, and then in 2019, choosing the word flourish right at the same time that you were diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. That must have been, wow, that must have been such an intense experience. I can't imagine.
Yeah. There were so many times a day I would think, how can I flourish in this moment? Feeling so icky and depleted. And there was many ways that I could find to flourish. So it was a perfect focus word for me that year. And
Right.
flourish I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll say so. Uh, how many people, as you said, the dismal survival rates of pancreatic cancer. Yeah, most people don't make it. So kudos to you and for finding a word that helped perhaps shift your mindset into a more healing perspective that helped you to overcome this really debilitating disease.
Yes. I'm so grateful. And my word of the year in 2020 was celebrate. So
Yeah,
I
well, I mean,
celebrated
obviously that.
all year long.
Right. Celebrating when you had so many reasons to celebrate, of course.
Right.
Beautiful, a really fabulous story and practice. And I really love the way you shared it with people and encouraged them to participate. I think that's really awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
So, folks, I just want to say what you've experienced is just one example of some of the fantastic and really inspiring material that's available for you in this book, Gifts of Wisdom. And if you haven't already purchased a copy, I would encourage you to head over to our Amazon book page, and I've got the link here in the on the screen here below, and pick up a copy. Maybe you can get one for yourself, or maybe you want to get one for somebody that you care about who could benefit from this kind of wisdom. Anyway, if you'd like to connect with Janette Stuart directly, she mentioned her email address during her presentation, but also I'd like to invite you to go check her out on her website at angelangles.com. That's angel-angles.com. And I'll put that link. That link is in the screen as well. Thank you all for stopping by, and thank you for checking out this one of many great chapter readings. And I hope you'll join us again for some of the other videos in this series. Love, light, and blessings to you on your continuing journey. Bye-bye for now.